This morning I get to share with you the secret of the season as the topic. Before I do that, I have a secret of my own. I don't really like secrets. They've always had such negative connotations that I wanted no part of them. It's taken many years, therapy, and lots of positive reinforcement to change my mind about this. For example, last week when my husband surprised me with unexpected guests at the door, 2 of our adult children, it was a positive reinforcement that secrets can be fun and a good thing. They kept their plans quiet for several weeks. I was impressed and grateful. And they went to such effort for that birthday weekend celebration. At the gratitude feast that we had a couple weeks ago, we shared a few secrets. Each person shared with the group something about themselves that was unknown to the rest. People got to hear these sharings and perhaps gain a new perspective about the individual time. And now I'm going to tell you what they said. Another example of a good secret is the new ribbon tapestry that will be revealed at our Almost Christmas Eve service on December 23rd. Many of you contributed your energy and words to its ultimate creation, and it's now being designed and assembled for the big reveal in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen it yet. I read somewhere that a secret is what you tell someone else not to tell, because you can't keep it to yourself. So when I speak about today's topic of secrets, I'm not speaking about secrets that are hurtful to someone, or sharing gossip or information about other people that is none of your business to tell. I'm not speaking about experiences in your life that you protect from being revealed, or certain truths that you have buried deep within your psyche and your past. And I'm not referring to the confidentiality, such as practitioners or doctors when they maintain silence about their clients who bring them their issues. The kind of secret today's topic refers to is perhaps best described as a special knowing. It's a kind of wisdom that will uplift you and help you in creating a life you enjoy, love, and appreciate. It's a type of knowledge that assists in expanding your consciousness and in your use of the law of mind. So what is the secret? If I were to reveal that the secret behind the secret of the season for a fulfilling and contented life was loving intention, that could be the simple and bottom line answer. We'd be done, we could all go home. But that's not going to happen. What I want to do instead is to give you a couple of examples that illustrate this idea of a creative secret. Let's begin with passages from the Science Mind textbook, written by religious science founder and teacher Ernest Holmes. He said, a treatment is a statement in the law, embodying the concrete idea of our desires and accompanied by an unqualified faith that the law works for us as we work with it. Let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. Already the door is open, and whosoever will may enter. This cracks open the door for our discussion on what the secret is. It tells us that treatment, what we call prayer in Science of Mind, embodies the vision or idea of our desire, of what we want to create in our life. And that our faith in the law, the principle that works for us to create that desire, can only work for us as we work with it. When we pray, when we ask life for what we desire and believe it is so, that is already created in the mind of God, and are willing to gratefully receive those gifts, it's a done deal. Sounds simple enough, right? For those of you who are making a conscious effort to to put this practice in place in your lives, have you noticed that there can be some challenges, perhaps even difficulty, in maintaining focus and feeling about your desire long enough for it to manifest in your life? I've noticed for me that sometimes, depending on what I'm treating or praying about to receive, it's like I have ATDD, attention to desires deficit. My patience at times seems to wane before the intention can be seen in my life. And when I stop praying or paying attention to the desire, guess what? The principle of creation changes direction. It slows down because my intention has diminished. The more I reduce my interest, the longer it takes to create. And in reality, spirit likes speed. It's a vicious circle of self-responsibility of which I am at the center of my life's plan and pattern. You are at the center of your plan and pattern. If I don't stay focused on what I choose to create, who will? If you don't stay focused on what you choose to create, who will? That's what I mean by a circle of self-responsibility. Holmes tells us we must work with it, with principle. And it's called work because it takes continuing effort. This may be a simple concept to understand, and it's not always a piece of cake to put into practice, is it? Holmes goes on to say, trained thought is far more powerful than untrained. And the one who gives conscious power to his thought should be more careful what he thinks than the one who does not. The more power one gives to his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, the more power will it have. How many of you saw the movie made in 2006? I couldn't believe it was that long ago already. Called The Secret. Yeah. How many of you have not seen the movie? How many of you would like to? Share it, put it back in the library, pass it forward. Let's get that message out there. The basic message of the movie, I don't want to be a spoiler alert or anything, was to bring to mainstream media the idea that if you ask and believe, all of us being guided by the one power, the one infinite power, the same law of attraction, you will receive what you most often think about. It will come about. It's just that simple. Thoughts are things. What you focus on grows. Now, it is a simple concept to understand, and often not so easy to implement in the beginning. It feels kind of phony. So after a while, the movie got a bad rap from folks. Partly because some people felt the filmmaker had oversimplified the concept. And partly from folks who couldn't get the law to work in their lives. There was no long-term self-responsibility, perhaps very little faith, or not having positive thoughts long enough to see their desires manifest. In another chapter of the Science Mind textbook, we're told, to be spiritually minded is to enter that tranquil atmosphere of pure thought, that heavenly consciousness, which is the secret place of the Most High in mankind. And that we must relight the torch of our imagination by fire caught from heaven. We must remain faithful to this vision, for a realization of the presence of God is the secret power of our work. We must remain faithful to this vision, the vision of our own lives. The vision or the way we would like life God to work through us, as us. We must stay true to that vision, that belief, about our own expression, about who we are. The realization is the secret power of the work we do in our lives through faith of the divine presence that is God. It's a circle of awareness and trust of our relationship to the whole. Holmes tells us that this was the secret to Jesus' success, and it is ours as well. When we can have a complete mental acceptance and embodiment of our desires, we have accessed the whole secret of creating whatever it is we want to experience in our lives. Let me say that again. A complete mental acceptance and embodiment of our desires. Positive thoughts are infinitely more powerful than negative ones. We do this through prayer, spiritual mind treatment. We give as much clarity to our desires and through our prayers as we know and have to give, leaving room for spirit to fill in the blanks of what we don't know and to manage the how of creation. We provide the what, God takes care of the how. We provide the conviction, warmth, color, feeling, and imagination. The creative power responds to us accordingly, especially according to our feeling about what we desire, of how intensely your feelings and beliefs are about that intention. I mentioned in the email newsletter this week another line from the textbook which states, whatever the mind holds to and firmly believes in forms a new pattern of thought within its creative mold. As whatever thought is held in the mind tends to take outward form in new creations. This is the secret and the whole secret of the creative law of mind. We're all part of the oneness of creation, the wholeness that is God, that is spirit and divine mind, the creative law of mind. So how can we apply this secret to our daily lives? What if we forget to maintain such a committed level of belief and feeling about our intention? Or we get lazy about it? What if we keep changing our minds about what we want? Make it really tough for God, huh? Has anyone ever done that besides me? Thank you for admitting it. Or what if we're so afraid that we might actually be successful that we don't do anything? What I know to be true is that if there is something inside you, some idea, some intention that only you can bring into being, Spirit will not let you be. That still small voice becomes annoyingly loud and repeatedly obnoxious until you do something about that desire. Once that loving intention, that seed of an idea that only you can grow and harvest, once that seed is planted within your heart and mind, it may lay dormant for many years, but it will not die. I can attest to that. Some of you may have seen my posting over the weekend on social media. I finally submitted my first children's book to a printer, and I'm waiting for initial order to arrive, hopefully by Christmas. I wrote that book, and the next one that will be published in early 2015, about 25 years ago. I wrote them as a gift to my daughter when she was about kindergarten age. I did the illustrations. And the original pages have been mostly sitting in a box for the past 25 years, waiting to be born in a printed book. You know, I've been writing poetry and stories for just a little over 50 years now. So you might ask, why did I wait all these years to finally publish a book? It was written. say technology needed to catch up with my idea, but that isn't true. Truthfully, the answer was fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being good enough as a writer or illustrator. There was even a little bit of fear of success. What if my book did so well that I had to let go of some of my other things I'm interested in? What if I made so much money that people would start asking me for it or trying to take it away from me? Been there, done that. It's amazing what the human ego mind will tell you to keep things just as they are for as long as possible, to keep you stuck. Through most of those years, I did not have the belief in my own talents. When I thought about the desire to be a published author, over and over again, I would talk myself out of it, and then do nothing. So nothing happened. It wasn't until I started reading the stories to my grandchildren that the fire caught from heaven was reignited once again. They enjoyed the images and the stories so much that they started making suggestions for new books. Currently on the drafting table is one about a cow to a rhythm of rap. They believed in me, and I had faith in their belief. That was enough to turn things around and take a look at my fears. I realized I didn't want my life to end with stories still inside me, or still in boxes. If the only copies I ever sell are the ones I buy for my grandchildren or a few friends, my children, then so be it. I know that's not the truth, because I'm already getting orders, so how cool is that? I know now in my heart that I'm already a success in their lives and my own, simply by finishing the project, this creation, this book. I'm setting a role model for them as I move forward, that they can do it too, and even greater things. It has taken a great deal of personal excavation to bring this one idea, the seed of desire, into manifestation. I had to do my part as well. It has taken facing fears, healing old wounds, maintaining feelings of desire for longer term, a passion to create, setting intentions, asking for help, having faith, facing the unknown and stepping out into it anyway, believing it was possible, and setting aside my own judgments and negativity about this project or me. Some successes may take longer than others, some don't. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What does matter is knowing that the success to creating anything, the secret, is to set your loving and passionate intention in motion and then support it step by step until it comes into form. To not give up, to trust the divine. And you know what happens after that? You have a new mental equivalent about what is possible for your life. You raise the bar on your own future intentions and desires. And you know that with God's help, anything is possible. I know this to be true for me, and I so know it to be true about all of you, about everyone. I realize that in these sermons, I mention pretty much every week about raising the mental equivalent, creating desires, setting intentions, watching your thought patterns and prayer, about utilizing spiritual mind treatment to overcome challenges and attract more good into one's life. I must. We forget too easily. And I know we forget because some of you have told me so, that you come here to be reminded. And it helps to be reminded, because if all of us remembered every word about this beautiful philosophy of science of mind, about the creative principles that are found common in all of the world's religions. If we all did those things every day, can you imagine where the world's consciousness would be right now? Perhaps a lot higher than it is. But we can help raise it. One person can raise the equivalent of 23 negative consciousness, according to Power versus Force. I think that figure's right. If we all put this faithfully into action every day, every moment, we could change the world. We start with ourselves. Living the ideas, the thoughts that you have in your heart and mind right now, instead of waiting and wondering, what if? So let's reveal the secret of the season, the secret of life. It's you. It's all of you. It's your magnificent beingness and energy, and all your brilliant ideas for a fulfilling life in partnership with the divine that can be expressed only through you. Whether your desire is to publish a book or visit a distant country or have a long-term loving relationship, be a financial success, or all of the above, do it. Dream it. Be it. Work toward it. Pray about it. Ask for help from those around you, yes. And for sure, place your order with the divine and set out a plan. Declare it. Do your part and let God do what God does. Create with and for you. If nothing else, start by trusting that believing, having faith in the divine universe, that God wants only good for you, only good for your life. And if you can't quite believe it, then believe me that I believe it for you. We can really mess things up when we let ego be our guide, so don't do that. Don't put off those burning desires any longer. This is getting close to the end of the year, so let's let go of those limiting behaviors and start fresh today. We can beat the rush in our 2014 resolutions, 2015 resolutions. What are you waiting for? It's 'tis the season of joy and love and the giving of gifts. So give the gift of you, the essence and radiance of who you are, to the world. The world's waiting. Life is waiting for you to reveal yourself, to feel it, to believe it, to be it. Let's have a prayer.